Gas close is complete.
VC verify F9 in startup.
Falcon 9's in startup. Stage 1, Stage 2, pressing for flight.
LD verify go for launch.
Go for launch.
T-minus 30. T-minus 20.
Falcon 9's configured for flight.
T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Lift off of Falcon 9. Falcon 9 is clear the tower.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Vehicle is pitching downrange. Power telemetry nominal.
T plus 50 seconds into flight. You heard the call out on countdown net 1. Avionics is nominal. Earlier we heard propulsion call out a nominal call for the 9 Merlin 1D engines. Next major activity coming up in just over 15 seconds. Maximum dynamic pressure. Falcon 9 currently has gone supersonic.
Vehicle is experiencing maximum dynamic pressure.
T plus 1 minute, 30 seconds into flight. We've heard the call out. The vehicle has gone through the period of maximum dynamic pressure. That's where the velocity of the vehicle and the density of the lower altitude of the Earth's atmosphere combine to create the greatest loads on the Falcon 9. The Merlin engines throttled down and then throttled back up to full power in preparation going through this phase. So currently we're at full power, continuing to head towards stage separation, coming up at about T plus 2 minutes, 46 seconds. Now there will be a sequence of activities that happen very rapidly in just about 35 seconds from now. You'll hear MECO, main engine cutoff. The 9 Merlin first stage engines will shut down. 4 seconds later, we get stage separation. 7 seconds after that, the upper stage engine ignites to propel the second stage and INTELSAT into the parking orbit. Let's watch and listen as we come up on MECO and stage separation.
We have MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
T plus 3 minutes, 5 seconds. You hear the applause in the background here in Hawthorne. A successful shutdown, stage separation, and ignition of the upper stage engine. The next major activity coming up in about 20 seconds, 25 seconds is fairing separation. We'll watch for that as the camera switches to a forward view showing INTELSAT 35E inside the payload fairing.
Fairing separation confirmed. Second stage is following nominal trajectory.
Coming up on T plus 4 minutes into flight,
Bermuda,
we saw a successful separation of the payload fairing INTELSAT
Stage 2 propulsion still
35E
nominal.
attached to the top of the second stage, now exposed to the vacuum of outer space. We've also heard the call out that propulsion continues to be nominal. Trajectory looks good for the Falcon 9. T plus 5 minutes into flight. Trajectory continues to look good. Propulsion on the second stage engine continues to look good. Everything going well on the flight of Falcon 9 carrying INTELSAT 35E. As a reminder, for recoverable first stage flights, we typically might have seen the boost back burn. We'd be getting ready for the entry burn. On this mission, the first stage was not recoverable, did not have landing legs or grid fins, so we're not following the first stage. We're going to stay with the second stage as it powers its way into orbit, with shutdown of the upper stage engine planned at about T plus 8 minutes and 40 seconds. That'll be the first shutdown of the upper stage engine. There is a second burn planned later on as we pass over Africa. We'll be bringing that to you, and we'll talk about that a little bit later more. Currently coming up on T plus 6 minutes. Everything continues to go well for Falcon 9 carrying INTELSAT 35E. Just a little bit more than 2.5 minutes remaining in this first of 2 planned burns of the upper stage engine.
Second stage continuing to follow nominal trajectory.
T plus 7 minutes into flight. Conditions continue to remain nominal on the flight of Falcon 9. Watching the second stage continuing to head east from Kennedy Space Center, going into the first of 2 planned orbits, in this case a low Earth parking orbit. Planned shutdown of the upper stage engine is coming up in about 1 minute and 14 seconds from now. We're coming up about 30 seconds from shutdown. This will be called SECA 1, second stage engine cutoff number 1. At the completion of the burn, we'll wait for the guidance, navigation, control engineering team to let us know how the orbit looks.
We have Seco.
the upper stage engine. We've got ignition of the upper stage engine. Hearing reports that turbine temperatures look good, propulsion looks good, chamber pressures are good. We're underway for a burn that'll last just about 60 seconds. Now, as you can see by the velocity gauge, we started the burn at just under 7.5 kilometers per second orbital velocity. This burn with a 210,000 pound thrust Merlin vacuum engine will bring us up to almost 10 kilometers per second. The acceleration will be just over 5 Gs, and as we burn off propellant, we will be throttling down. We're waiting now for shutdown, and then we'll wait to hear how the orbit looks.
GNC confirms good orbit for payload deploy.
And there you have it. We waited a minute. GNC has confirmed a good orbit for spacecraft deployment. So we did the 1 minute roughly burn of the upper stage engine. That went well. Shut down. Took a minute. GNC took a chance, went through the data, came up with the orbit, announced we have a good orbit. We're right where we want to be for our Intelsat 35E spacecraft customer. We're going to pause here for a few minutes. The next major event is going to be spacecraft deployment at T plus 32 minutes. Not much to show right now. So we'll come back at T plus 31 minutes and walk you through the last major activity in today's mission.
Payload deploy confirmed.
Right on time, we had spacecraft deployment, Intelsat 35E, free of the Falcon 9, on its way in the desired geostationary transfer orbit. Video is a little broken up there, but we did hear the call out of deployment and we did see it on the camera. So that's going to bring an end to our webcast. We counted down. Third try today was the charm. We got through the countdown, launched right on time. The weather cooperated. First stage, an expendable first stage, did its job well. Second stage went through the 2 desired burns, each time putting us into the desired orbit. And then finally, just now, as you saw, spacecraft separation on time, right where we wanted to be. So we'd like to thank, of course, our Intelsat customer. We'd like to thank NASA and the Air Force for range support, especially in deferring some of the downtime planned today so that SpaceX could have a launch attempt here on the 5th of July. And of course, the Federal Aviation Administration, our licensing agency in the U.S. government. Now, we invite you to follow us on our Twitter feed, as well as Instagram and our website at spacex.com for updates and pictures of the flight. We'd like to thank you for letting us share the mission of Falcon 9 with you. And until the next webcast, goodbye.